Hi, fam. Welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great day. I'm Joe.
I'm Dan.
And if you hear my voice, it is the voice of sick and death. I've been sick, fam, but we're going to push through and try and give you something. We got a pitch meeting. Which one here?
This is the pitch meeting for Ahsoka.
Been looking forward to this one. Let's go see what kind of mistakes they could have possibly made here.
So I'm sure it's a bunch.
All right. Cheers to you, fam, with my tea.
So, you have a new idea for me?
Yes, sir, I do. I was thinking it'd be really cool if we did Ahsoka.
Well, listen, I'm open to anything, but I do usually bathe alone.
No, like we
Oh,
make a Star
what?
Wars show about the character Ahsoka Tano.
Oh, okay, yeah, well, we are due to plop some
Oh,
new
it's
content
coming,
on Disney
okay.
Plus.
Oh yeah, due for a big plopping.
And what's going on with Ahsoka? What's her deal?
Well, she stands around with her arms crossed and a little smirk on her face.
That's all she does.
Okay, what
Yeah.
else?
Not much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very
Very
stoic and
stoic.
smirky and never anything else. So anyway, she wants to find this map that could lead to this bad guy, Thrawn.
Oh, bad guys love having secret maps that lead to them.
They sure do,
They
sir.
shouldn't.
But when she gets this map, these bad droids pop out that were also sent to get the map, and after losing a fight, they self-destruct with a massive explosion.
Wouldn't that risk destroying the map they were sent to get?
Yes.
Technically, yeah, I guess so. Weird programming.
Well, okay then.
So anyway, now Ahsoka can't figure out this map because it's a ball, so she brings it to her old apprentice Sabine because she does art or something.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
No,
that
not
makes
really.
great
Sneaks off
sense.
with this thing and figures out you can open it by turning it a certain way.
Nobody had tried that?
Apparently not, but then she gets stabbed by this evil apprentice lady, Shin.
Oh, so Sabine dies?
What? No,
Nope.
no. She was just impaled with a lightsaber. Why would that?
Is that not bad?
not
Not anymore.
No,
You know
that's
that.
meaningless. She's up and at him in the next episode.
Well, okay then. So who was this tibia person that attacked her?
Shin.
What did I say?
Well, Shin is the
Tibia.
apprentice of this guy Balin, who has Jedi powers and the best beard in the galaxy.
What?
Yeah,
And
he
they
does.
rescue this lady,
Yeah.
Morgan Elsbeth, because they all want to go rescue Thrawn, who's stuck in another galaxy.
Not good.
So now that Sabine has recovered from being tickled by a lightsaber, her and Ahsoka need to stop all that bad stuff from happening.
So what do they do?
Well, they freaking chase the bad guys down to this big old space hyper ring thing, but then their ship gets disabled, so they gotta fight.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so Ahsoka gets out of her ship and fights these bad guys with her lightsabers.
What do you mean?
Well, they fire at her, so she deflects those shots, and then she kills one of them when they swoop in next to her.
Why wouldn't the bad guys just stay slightly far away
Yes,
from their
why
disabled
wouldn't they
ship
do
and
that?
fire at them
I don't
instead of
know.
swooping in at lightsaber lady?
Unclear, but so then on a nearby planet, Ahsoka's gonna manage to kill a fart.
Oh, stopping a fart is tight.
So then she's gonna lose a fight against that Balin guy who sends her into the ocean
For a swim?
for a death.
Oh no.
Yeah, so then she's gonna
Poor
spend a
Dick.
whole episode in the world between worlds hanging out with Anakin's ghost.
So what kind of change does she go through?
Well, she learns that it's better to live than to die.
Did she not know that?
Wow.
Apparently not, and now she's gonna dress in light clothes instead of dark ones.
Oh, okay, yeah. We might as well spend an episode on a wardrobe change.
But meanwhile,
Sure.
Sabine made a deal with the bad guys to give them the map.
What? Why?
We'll see her good friend Ezra Bridger might still be alive in the same galaxy as Thrawn, so in exchange for the map, they're gonna bring her there too.
So this Thrawn guy can't be that big of a deal if she's doing something like that.
He'll bring war and genocide to their galaxy.
That's the
Oh
plan.
my god.
Yeah, and so they head over to this other galaxy with that hyperspace ring, and now Ahsoka has to figure out how to get there too.
Well, it sounds like that's gonna be impossible. The bad guys have to use a giant hyperspace ring.
Actually, it's gonna be super easy.
Barely
Barely
an
an
inconvenience.
inconvenience.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because see, giant space whales can hyperspace travel too, so Ahsoka gets in one of those.
She gets inside a whale?
She gets
Yes.
inside
Yeah.
a whale.
How does she know that this space whale's going to the exact same spot that the bad guys
She doesn't.
did?
Well, she doesn't, but it totally does.
Oh, well, great.
So then we meet
Good thing for
Thrawn, who,
her.
as it turns out, is a smirky blue guy with a bunch of stormtroopers.
Very scary.
And he allows Sabine to go find Ezra, which she does almost immediately.
So he was pretty close by.
Yeah, kind of shocking that the bad guys never found him, to be honest. He was right
Right
there.
there.
So they must have a huge emotional reunion.
Oh boy, not particularly, no. And then they just kind of slowly make their way back.
How does he
Yeah.
react to her selling out the galaxy to find him?
I don't know, she doesn't tell him anything, so then they just kind of hang out and slowly make their way back.
Well, I mean, I guess if there's no rush.
Actually, Thrawn told her if she wasn't back by the time his ship was loaded up with cargo, they'd leave her here in the galaxy stranded. But anyway, turns out Thrawn was sneaky.
What do you mean?
Well, technically, they said they'd let her find Ezra, but they didn't say anything about not killing her after that.
Oh, that is
Which she
sneaky.
should have
He
believed.
tells
Yeah.
the other bad guys, look, you cannot underestimate the Jedi, okay? You simply can't.
So what does he do?
He sends 2 TIE fighters after them. He says he doesn't want to waste resources. So later they're surrounded by stormtroopers, and Ahsoka is above, timing her landing onto the planet.
Oh, so she swoops in?
Well, no, she decides to land next to Balin.
Oh.
Yeah, and so she fights him a little bit, but then she's like, I don't have time for this, and she runs off to her friends.
Well, why'd you
So
land
she
next to
chose
him.
to land there.
She did, and now that she arrives next to her friends, all the stormtroopers forget that they're holding guns.
Well, great.
So eventually the good guys make it to Thrawn's tower that he's about to fly away from, and they have to fight a bunch more stormtroopers.
Yikes, going up against a bunch more stormtroopers. That's, well, I wouldn't
That's
say
nothing.
dangerous, but kind of a roadblock.
Yeah,
barely,
that's about
so
it.
They kill all of them pretty
It's a
quick.
banana
Right.
peel on the
But
road.
then get this, since Thrawn is working with some witches, all these stormtroopers come back as like zombies.
That's kinda cool,
Wait,
actually.
so like slower stormtroopers that are worse at fighting?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like much of a threat.
It's
No.
not really, no, so they get away quite quickly again.
That makes sense, yeah.
So now Thrawn sends that Morgan lady to go fight them and slow them down.
Wow, so what does she do?
She immediately lets Ezra and Sabine walk right past her.
Okay.
And then she fights Ahsoka and dies pretty quickly as well.
All right.
And then Sabine and Ezra are going to be fighting some bad guys, and Sabine's finally going to be able to use the Force. She's been trying to do that this whole series.
Oh, well, good for her.
Yeah, so then she uses
Wasn't very
the Force to
dramatic.
send Ezra
No.
flying onto Thrawn's ship that's taking off.
She's just immediately that good at using the Force?
Apparently so.
Well, okay then.
So now Sabine and Ahsoka
Took
are
Ezra
stuck
like
in
10
this
years, but
galaxy
I know,
while Ezra
right?
gets back home.
How does he manage that?
Well, he dresses up as a stormtrooper and steals a ship, and when he gets onto a good guy's ship, he takes his helmet off to reveal it's him.
But they could have killed him. Why didn't he already have that off?
Dramatic effect and nothing else. So what do you
Yeah,
think?
pretty
This
much.
entire series was just kind of Ahsoka and Sabine switching places with Ezra and Thrawn.
Yeah, and Sabine trading the well-being of an entire galaxy for one guy and then nobody calling her out on that.
I feel like it's maybe
Yeah.
missing a little something. Kind of feels like just content for the sake of content.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way to look at it. We could certainly dive into that if you like. Or we slap a nostalgia cameo into this and call it a day.
Yeah, that works. Let's do that.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah, you really walked down that road, didn't you?
I mean, it was cool, but useless.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think you summed it up pretty perfectly there. It was content for the sake of content.
No kidding, right? They pretty much pointed out Ahsoka's live action character perfectly. Just a person that crosses their arms, sits there with a stoic look the entire time, and has absolutely no emotional response to anything.
Yeah, none of the complexity of her original character design.
Which is one of the things I loved about Ahsoka from like the Clone Wars and whatnot, because she actually had a spark about her.
She was a passionate character, and she
Yeah.
had like no passion in this at all.
No, it's like the older she got, the worse life got for her.
You know, and granted, yes, you're older, you're wiser, you probably conform more with the Jedi principles, but still, even like Obi-Wan had more personality than that.
Absolutely. No matter how wise you get, you are who you are.
Yeah.
So, even Yoda, like, he's still kind of a goofy dude.
Yeah, he's still a goofball even when he's 800 years old. Like,
Yeah.
what is your excuse? You're what, 40?
Right? And then, of course, probably the one thing that we all know upsets us now with lightsaber duels is
Nobody dies.
Nobody dies. In fact, they're up on their feet the next day.
Yeah, man, that's ridiculous, you know? You can't do that for every character who gets stabbed with a lightsaber.
Yeah. It's like, look, at some point, you're going to have to bite the bullet on this. If this is somebody people love and they get run through, it's going to have to kill them.
Or you're gonna have to start dismembering people and just make it as violent as possible so we know they can't come back from it.
Yeah, because you can't watch people take a slash
Yeah.
and die immediately, but then they get run through and it's held there for a long time. Nothing happens.
Nothing
to 'em.
happens, yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah. I love too, he's talking about the pacing there. Once they actually get to the planet and they find Ezra. Like, she's just taking her time, just casually going across the planet. Like, you guys realize you have to stop Thrawn as quickly as possible, and you're just wasting time. Honestly, the whole pacing to the second half of the show was just really bad. Like, they could have crammed so much more stuff in there if they really tried, and they just didn't.
They could have, but they wanted to draw things out.
Yeah.
Heavy. Like really heavily. It's like from one episode to the next. Like, hey, we found Ezra. Okay, episode ends. We won't see another one for a week.
Right.
Now it's like, okay, we got to get packed up and move. Episode ends. Now we can fight in the next one.
Right. Like, realistically, you should have had that end with Thrawn already back in the universe, having built up a navy, and already attacking rebel fleets. Instead, the show literally ends with him coming back, and we have no idea what he's coming back with, what he's going to do. You left so much that could have been answered in that first season, and you didn't bother to do it.
Like you said, just content for the sake of content.
Yeah, it really was.
And of course, Sabine making a super personal decision to go after Ezra, knowing full well that it could lead to Thrawn coming back, and it did.
Right.
And it's like, wow, you made a personal call that put millions of people's lives at stake.
And people are going to die. I guarantee you, whatever comes out after this, content-wise, is going to involve people dying at Thrawn's hands. So it's going to be on her.
And I bet you anything, the way they roll out content, she won't face any consequences, and she won't feel the sting of this at all.
No, you know she won't.
No, in fact, when they stop them, they'll probably think they're heroes for it.
Yeah. She's gonna be like, I made this mess. I'm gonna have to go out there and clean it up. And anyone's gonna be like, yeah, we got your back while you clean it up. Like, honestly, you guys should be. This woman should be a pariah.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to go, though, fam. You know it, and I know it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's about as predictable an outcome as you can expect. So,
Boringly predictable.
but it looks like they're going to put the Ghost crew back together.
Yeah, I mean, I am kind of looking forward to what comes off of this because I am a big Thrawn fan.
Sure.
So I want to see what kind of chaos he wrecks on the New Republic. That aside, it's just eh.
Also, I want to see what's in his cargo
Mm-hmm.
because I still don't know.
Yeah,
But whatever it is, it's got to be pretty bad. So,
hopefully so.
because they made a pretty serious emphasis on getting it.
I'm gonna say they took their time getting it on that ship, so it
Yeah.
must be really important.
They were leaving without it.
Right.
They got something pretty special there, and not good.
We'll see.
Yes,
Also, rest in peace to Ray Stevenson, the best part of that show.
that's just too bad.
Yeah,
You looked like you fit that role, sir.
I really wanted to see where his character went, but
We'll never
guess we
know.
won't now. Yeah,
Oh well, I guess they're all stranded on that planet out there for the rest of time. So,
and we'll never see him again, never hear from him again, and it won't matter.
yeah. So I guess then we won't have to worry about a season 2
I guess not.
because Ahsoka's been banished to the other side of the universe, so,
Mm.
where there's still more Star Wars. So yeah.
Hey, they might be.
Guys, I think we'll leave it there. And yes, I'm sorry for the way my voice sounds. He's kind of got it too. I can hear it in him a little bit there too.
A little bit.
We both caught different viruses, but we're recovering. But we got to forge ahead because we love you. So here's our video. But until next time, guys, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bells, check us out on those things, and then like and subscribe again. But until next time, this is Cocktail Flicks and Joe,
I'm Dan,
and we'll catch you on the flip side. May the force be with you, fam, and you, Dan.
and you, Joe.
Later, guys.